Ukrainian intelligence says it's foiled a Russian plot to assassinate President Zelensky and other high-ranking Ukrainian officials. The plan is said to have been to time the assassination for President Putin's inauguration as a present. 2 colonels working in the Ukrainian government protection unit have been arrested on suspicion of passing on secret information. The Ukrainian authorities said they were part of a network of agents belonging to the Russian State Security Service, or FSB. They had reportedly been searching for willing executors among Mr. Zelensky's bodyguards to kidnap and kill him, and had already bought drones and anti-personnel mines for the attack. Well, for more of this, I'm joined now on the line from London by Arise Eastern European analyst Dr. Marek Laskiewicz. Good to see you, Mr. Laskiewicz. Let's start with Mr. Putin swearing in. What are your thoughts on what he said after the ceremony, particularly the fact that he mentioned Ukraine right at the top?
Well, as you said in your program, Ukraine will define very much his presidency, and he is now, of course, concentrating on this issue. What is very important is that it is not only number one, but it is the key issue also for his economy, for his political standing in every respect. However, the ceremony itself, of course, will go down very well in Russia because it was very well executed.
What you expected him to say?
Well, the point is that in an inauguration ceremony, it's there really to cement the nation, or at least present a united front, an impressive front, and therefore he cannot in such a speech make so much of a policy issue as so much of a strategic plan. And that is, of course, what he's saying. In effect, he is stating that he has not stopped, he's not giving in, and that Russia will carry on with this war. That's what he's in effect stating.
Something, though, I mean, I know you're a keen observer of these things. That's why I'm asking you these questions. I mean, something that appeared to be slightly different from the way he normally does those sort of set-piece big speeches was his acknowledgement that Russia is going through a very difficult period. Was that something you would have expected him to say? Because normally, I mean, he would say, we're doing well, but we're going to do better.
I think that that was simply a very mild remark, which actually may add to his veracity. For the Russian people, that he has acknowledged this is, of course, important. It doesn't lead anywhere. It's not all that significant. Far more significant is what's actually happening in the economy, where the OECD Russian economy will grow. And therefore, that he has the, if you like, humility to state that there is a problem will actually go down very well, I think.
And Mr. Putin saying he's open to dialogue with the West, but that it had to be on equal terms. What's your reading of that?
Oh, this is a very important statement. He's been searching for equality with the West now for years. If you remember, there were summits before during the Cold War where USA and USSR, hand in hand, were the key players in the world. And what he wants is Russia to be restored, to be respected, albeit, as he stated before, he doesn't expect Russia to be liked, but at least respected. And that is what he craves. The actual discussion, therefore, well, that's another matter. They've got totally incompatible goals, the Russians, the Ukrainians, and the West. So what talk can take place, I don't know.
And there was talk, of course, raising a bit of dust, I suppose, the fact that we saw the Russians yesterday saying they were going to be carrying out nuclear sort of drills near the border with Ukraine in response to what they had heard the British Foreign Secretary saying, and some other people, I think the French President Emmanuel Macron, suggesting that Britain saying that British weapons can be used to attack targets in Russia, and the French suggesting that they might actually station troops near or around Ukraine. What do you make of that and the way the Russians have responded to it?
Well, to be quite honest, I've no idea what Great Britain and France are playing at. What is the point of stationing French troops when Ukrainians are reasonably holding their own defensively and need arms? Number two, why please note, the Foreign Secretary, that British missiles will be used in Russia, onto Russian soil itself. Both these statements seem fairly provocative, and therefore Russia has replied equally provocatively with its nuclear training exercises. Here, the problem is the element of escalation, quite unnecessary, considering that the front line at present is going nowhere, especially, and therefore why this is taking place, I have no idea. What I can state is this: I personally don't envisage him utilizing nuclear weapons in Ukraine, but that he might use them if attacked, or if he attacks elsewhere, matter. However, it is one more escalation, quite a minor one, albeit, but quite unnecessary.
Indeed. And just turning to Ukraine, we heard earlier that the Ukrainian intelligence service had foiled a Russian plot to assassinate President Zelensky. They were reportedly planning to time it to coincide with Mr. Putin's inauguration today as a president. What do you make of that story?
Oh, it's very hard to tell. I would not be at all surprised there have been not one, but several assassination attempts and several assassination plans. However, it is equally possible that this particular one is a PR exercise designed to ruin the inauguration of President Putin, which after all carries some weight, and there was in fact a French envoy there. And that it is to be pointed out that Ukrainians have not had an election, and this is slightly galling, presumably for some Ukrainians. And the point about it is this may be possibly a PR exercise, but that there are assassination attempts in the past, right now, and in the future, unquestionably Russia will be trying that, yes.
Well, thank you very much indeed. Dr. War-Laskiewicz is Arise Eastern European analyst. He's talking to me there from London.